Hello and welcome to NEWSAT10. I'm Stephen Enti, and ahead tonight in the bulletin, the Bank of Ghana has set aside 700 million Ghana cedis to clean up the savings and loan sector. And Cabinet places a temporary ban on the importation of excavators in efforts to control illegal mining. Also tonight, the Criminal Investigations Department of the Police Service, CID, has revealed that it knows the whereabouts of the 3 girls who were kidnapped last year in Takoradi in the Western region. These and many more coming up over the next 30 minutes. But let's start with the major news highlights of the day. And 8 people reported dead and 4 others in critical condition following renewed fighting at Zuaga in the Upper East region. Hundreds of people have been displaced while shops and properties have been burned down. Tension is reported to be increasing. The Criminal Investigations Department of the CID has revealed that it knows the whereabouts of the 3 girls who were kidnapped last year from Takoradi in the Western region. At a news conference in Accra, the Director General of the Police CID DCOP Mamiya Tiwa Adodankwa said the girls are safe and will be returned to their parents soon. On the coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold petition the Economic and Organized Crime Office (EOCO) to make public the frozen assets of embattled CEO Nana Apia Mensah Namwan. They also want an extension of the seizure on the managers of the gold dealership company. On the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, says nearly 900,000 doses of cholera vaccines have arrived in Mozambique port city of Beira to help contain an outbreak of the waterborne disease that emerged in the wake of the cyclone Idai. There are more than 1,000 confirmed cholera cases, most of which are in Beira, with 1 person reported dead from the disease. Those were our major news highlights. Remember, you can hear us live on 3FM 92.7, and we're streaming live on our Facebook page and on 3news.com. Up next is a big one. Welcome back. Now, the Criminal Investigations Department of the Police Service has revealed that it knows the whereabouts of the 3 girls who were kidnapped last year from Takoradi in the Western region. At a news conference in Accra, the Director General of the CID DCOP Mamiya Tiwa Adodankwa said the girls are safe and will be reunited with their parents pretty soon.
The news conference was to address the status of investigations on some high-profile crimes. On the 3 kidnapped girls from Takoradi, the Director General of Police CID, DCOP Mami Tiwa Adodankwa, said in partnership with the Bureau of National Investigations, the location of the 3 girls has been identified.
We've worked very well, and currently we know where the girls are. We are working hard together with other stakeholders so that these girls are brought back home safely. The assurance to the family is that they should keep on keeping on. The ladies, we know where they are and they are safe. So very soon they will be brought back home and they will go back to their family.
She, however, declined to give details, insisting it will jeopardize the safety of the girls.
If you really know how kidnapping works, there's something that you don't have to do to compromise the safety of the girls in hostage. Like I said, it's taking us over 3 months to even identify where the ladies are. And what we don't want to do is to do anything that will jeopardize the safety of that.
On the murder of Tiger IPI investigative journalist Ahmed Hussein Swale, the CID boss disclosed that the police have interrogated 13 suspects One key suspect, however, is in police custody.
In the course of these investigations, 13 suspects have been questioned. One is currently on remand, assisting us in our investigation. And these 13 people that we have questioned include Anas and Honorable Kennedy Ejapon. Other lists are being followed.
The Bronahafo Regional Vice Chairman of the NPP, Kwame Bafo, alias Abronye DC, recently alleged that a suspect in the Ahmed Swale murder, who was arrested by the police and sent to the Kotobabi police station, was released after allegedly bribing the police. But the CID boss refuted the claim.
They actually arrested this person and he started struggling with the policeman. Instead of the public, those who were at the pub, coming to the aid of the policeman, they rather went to the aid of the person. This policeman, sensing that his life was in danger, allowed the person to go. It is not accurate that the person was arrested, sent to Kotobabi police station, and because he had links with somebody else, the person was granted bail.
Now, a relative of one of the 3 kidnapped Takoradi girls, Nana Ajua Kwesen, has said the police had not been forthcoming with information concerning the kidnappings. She spoke early with Alfred Akanse on News 360.
It was just yesterday, the court, we were supposed to go to court, but the court didn't come on. So it was just yesterday that we wanted to find out why the court wasn't been able to hold any information or something like that. Then the woman gave us a message back telling us that they will be having a press conference today and they will mention about the kidnapping, so we should keep on praying. That's what she told us. Aside that, nothing of any sort of like in terms of communication has been done to us, unless we ask them. If we don't ask them or we don't call to find information, they never tell us anything. Somewhere around 23rd, 26th January, even the gender minister came out and said the girls are still in the country and they are still there, but after so that time we never heard anything about it. So yeah, it's fine. If you say you know where the kids are, then bring them to us. That's what we are all hoping and waiting for. So if you know where our girls are, then we are expecting to see our girls maybe by the course of this week, or because he said very soon. So let's take it maybe by the course of this week. So if you know where they are, then let them come so that this all sleepless night will be over. We don't have any updates. No one calls us to tell us anything unless we message them or call them. Sometimes when we call them, we don't reach them, so we have to send them a WhatsApp message. Then they'll be telling us, oh, they are on it. We are working with the BNI, so we should keep on praying. That's the only thing they will say. But if we don't WhatsApp them or chat them, they never tell us anything. Ever since they left here from 26th, 23rd January, nothing of that maybe they are at least briefing us on where they've reached. No, unless we send them information. It doesn't be easy looking at the first victim, for instance, have been too. Even when you see the mother, you will cry, because it doesn't be easy for a mother to raise up a daughter to this level that she is in the university. And so now, we don't know the whereabouts of the kids. It doesn't be easy. Even with my mom, that our own, that it was just this December. Every day she doesn't sleep, especially during the night. When you hear the sound of her car, then it thinks maybe someone has come and dropped my sister by here. So you'll be going around the neighboring community, searching, maybe you could see something, but nothing of that. So it doesn't be easy at all.
And the lecturer at Cambridge University, Dr. Justice Tenkebe, says the press conference by the police CID on the whereabouts of the 3 kidnapped girls in Takoradi needs much to be desired. He spoke on TV3 News 360 earlier.
I think this was rather unusual press conference in that sense, because it's not entirely clear what she meant by knowing where the girls were. Is it in terms of the country that they're in, or just specific location? And what exactly is the purpose of that public disclosure? Is it simply the case that they are just trying to throw in some information in order to see how these suspects might, their movement, for them to intercept them or arrest them? It's not entirely clear why that is being made public. And I thought that probably if we had the opportunity to ask her those further questions, that would have been helpful. But I think probably the more important, or the other important issue then, is the fact of the relatives of these girls telling us that they heard this information for the first time, as the rest of the country did, which I think raises really important questions.
Sure.
Because I have made this point elsewhere, that it is important that victims of violent crime especially are given serious attention by the police. And it is one of those things they could do in order to maintain the confidence of such persons in the police,
Right.
is to establish some form of family liaison arrangement, such that police officers in each district, one police officer at least, could be trained to liaise with families of victims of violent crime.
Right.
But a situation where the families have to call the police, beg for information,
Absolutely.
or hear about information for the first time in the public is certainly not good for the confidence that we might have in the police.
And still staying with security issues, the police has rescued a 50-year-old woman who was kidnapped at Chimota Mile 7 in Accra around 10 p.m. last night. One of the suspects, believed to be a Nigerian, has been arrested.
The Accra Regional Police Command, and also in collaboration with the Amasaman Divisional Patrols team, yesterday around 11 p.m. rescued a woman of about 50 years who was kidnapped and kept somewhere in the bush of Amasaman. And in the course of police patrols, that was yesterday night, the team noticed an unusual movement within the thicket of Amasaman, where they strategically moved toward the direction of the scene. And when they got there, they realized that this woman had been tied up both in the legs and also in the arms. And these suspects, who are Nigerian nationals, were with her, and they were making efforts to reach her husband to be able to demand some ransom. So initially, they even feigned and told the police a lie that their car had developed a fault. That is how come they were in the bush. It was later when the police, through their search, realized that, yes, there was this woman who had been tied up and was crying for help. So quickly, the woman was rescued, and in the process, one managed to escape. But we had one whose name was given as one Isaac Ubielu. That is the name the police have now. So during the interview of the woman, she said she closed from work yesterday night, and when she got to home, in fact, she didn't know that these two suspects had already gained ingress into her house. They ransacked the whole place and held her hostage in her own car, tied her up, and drove her all the way to a bush, a thick bush in Amasaman, where they were making efforts to reach the husband. And also, a caretaker in the house was also wounded, where he fell unconscious until, as I speak to you now, he is still receiving treatment at the police hospital and also in a very critical condition. It is a very worrying trend, and what the police wish to say is that the foreigners in our country should not undermine the hospitality of Ghanaians, and that we will not permit such crime to prevail in Accra or anywhere in the country. And that, if this is the trend that we are going to find ourselves, the regional command, the divisions, and also the districts are going to mobilize all other resources to make sure that we purge the metropolis of this kind of violent and also growing crime that we find ourselves. So for now, we have Isaac in our custody. He is also helping matters, and we hope that we'll be able to get the other accomplices also arrested.
You're still watching and listening to News at 10 live from the News Hub at Adesawe, Kanda. in Accra. We'll have more news for you. Please don't go away. Welcome back. Now, members of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee were thrown into a state of shock after the 2016 Auditor General's report revealed how burglars broke into the offices of the Ghana International Trade Fair Company and made away with only payment vouchers. Documents on some 350,000 cedis went missing after the accounts office was burgled.
A company which has caused this mess, and for the first time, burglars in this country, whether they were armed robbers or whatever, were not interested in cash, but TVs. This is history.
I have to say that it's been difficult, to say the least. The company, as I found it, I inherited a company where the CEO had a safe in his office. I'm not sure what the purpose of a safe in the office of the CEO, where there is an accounting department, an auditor, and external auditors, all manner of things.
An explanation offered by the Chief Executive Officer of the Trade Fair Company after the infraction made by the Auditor General. Appearing before the committee, the Chief Executive of the company, Dr. Agnes Edu, narrated how the company was mismanaged under the old management, culminating in their inability to account for thousands of cedis used in the purchase of goods and services. The incident, which happened in 2016, followed an audit into the operations of the company's activities. Members of the committee were unenthused about the explanations and want the former CEO to respond to the issues. The CEO of the company, shortly after she appeared before the committee, said she's rebuilding a debt-laden company she inherited.
I think that the committee's decision to invite the ex-CEO who misappropriated all this mess that we are in is appropriate, and it's about time we get on with it. IOCO is investigating the previous people that ran Trade Fair Company Limited, but what is important is that this new management, with me as CEO, these kinds of things will not happen. I think that speaks volumes.
You're having a dig at the CEO, the ex-CEO. You said he's still being investigated by IOCO. Then again, you did say that he has misappropriated. That's prejudicial when IOCO has not even released a statement yet.
I said you were in the committee. Did you find answers to what the committee was looking for?
The question is to what you have just told us.
My statement is based on what has happened in this committee. You remember the member says this was a mess, and that's exactly what I'm standing on.
And Cabinet has reviewed the Food and Drugs Authority inspection levy from $20,000 to $7,500. It has again reviewed the registration fee per drug from $3,600 to $1,200. Chairman of the Chamber of Pharmacy, Harrison Abutiate, made this known during a courtesy call on the chamber by the Egyptian ambassador to Ghana.
Discussions were centered on making Accra a pharmaceutical hub in West Africa. Available figures indicate that Ghana has 38 manufacturing pharmacies, while Nigeria has 120. In the deliberations with the Egyptian ambassador, the chamber indicated that government has reviewed charges by the Food and Drugs Authority on its medicines. It informed the Egyptian ambassador that government is to table before Parliament a review of the inspection charge from $20,000 to $7,500. Chairman of the chamber, Harrison Abutiate, was emphatic the review would address the cost of medicines in the country.
Our idea is it should be, at least by the end of this year, it should be operating. Eventually, we are going to pay on what we import, the CIF value. There's a percentage that is taken back. So the FDA is not going to lose out. They're actually going to enhance their income and also improve the quality of products that are brought in the country.
He again emphasized the need to set up a pharmaceutical park in Ghana.
When you produce medicines, how to get rid of the components that are not useful, so that they don't contaminate the environment. So all this have to be built into what we are looking at or what we want to do. the state in which we are now, you see production, pharmaceutical production going on in like residential areas. It's not right.
The Egyptian ambassador to Ghana, Imad Magdihana, lauded the efforts of the chamber and gave an assurance to assist in the setting up of the pharmacy park.
I was thinking we should cooperate in this field as well. We have so many pharmaceutical companies and factories in Egypt. One of which, for instance, is Farco. Farco is in Alexandria, and the owner actually is a friend of mine by coincidence, because when I was serving in Romania, I found out that 80% of the Romanian pharmaceutical market is coming from Egypt.
And Cabinet has placed a temporary ban on the importation of excavators in efforts to combat illegal mining. The ban takes effect from May 1, according to a statement issued by the Ministry of Transport and signed by the Sector Minister Kweku Ofori-Isiama in Accra. Cabinet, as its sitting on March 27, placed the temporary ban. The ban will remain in effect until further notice. According to the statement, the ban has become necessary following government's decision to combat illegal mining phenomenon popularly referred to as galamsey. Meanwhile, the fight against illegal mining has received a boost following government's decision to increase the compensation budget allocation for the Minerals Commission from 28.62 million cedis in 2018 to 63.35 million, representing an increment of 22%. This will help in augmenting the staff strength of the Commission. The story is a coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold have petitioned the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to make public frozen assets of embattled CEO Nana Appiah Mensah. They want an extension of the seizure on other managers of the gold dealership company to offset all their locked-up investments.
Last year, the coalition hinted of series of protests to press home their demands of retrieving their locked-up investments. Members marched up in front of the Economic and Organized Crime Office and petitioned EOCO to declare frozen assets of embattled CEO Nana Appiah Mensah. The coalition claimed that 15 of its members have died from shock and heart failure owing to this situation.
Well, we just want to send a signal to EOCO. We know asset of NAM1 is being confiscated, but we have information, concrete one. Our monies never ended with only NAM1. Men's Gold management members looted our funds, and we have evidence to that effect. So the seizure of assets should move beyond only NAM1.
Since we are here, we are going to sleep here. If it's 1 week, 1 week. If it's 2 weeks, 2 weeks, until we hear something better from them, from EOCO.
They intend to picket at the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Attorney General's Department to register their protest. Deputy Director of Operations at EOCO cautioned them against unlawful acts.
And the arrangement is based on an understanding that EOCO has reached with the leadership of this group. If the discussion goes well, and they think that we should tell their followers something from the angle of EOCO, only EOCO will do that. So that is the arrangement.
According to the Economic and Organized Crime Office, it has finished with its investigations and forwarded its findings to the Attorney General. More than 200 million cedis of the depositors' funds are locked up with a gold dealership firm.
And the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, of the Ghana Police Service says the embattled boss of the gold execution in the United Arab Emirates. According to the Director General of the CID, DCOP, Mamiya Tiwa Adudankwa, Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as NAM1, cannot be charged and prosecuted in Ghana until his case in Dubai has been disposed of.
I
The Director General of the Police CID, DCOP Mameya Tiwa Adedankwa, said although Nam1 was granted bail on March 25, he was rearrested in Dubai on the instructions of Interpol.
On the 4th of March, Nam1 was granted bail, and there was some conditions for his bail. On 25th of March, he was able to execute the bail, and 25th, the lawyers actually obtained the letter for his release. Due to the red alert notice on him, he was re-arrested on the instructions of Interpol. The Dubai police has gone ahead to obtain a local warrant of arrest based on the Interpol red notice.
The CID boss indicated that the Ghana police is in touch with their Dubai counterpart, who will hand him over when the case in Dubai is completed.
He is currently in custody at the Dubai police station, and that case, even though he's on bail, hasn't ended. They will continue to produce him before the court until that case is over, before he's handed over to Ghana.
The Economic and Organized Crime Office (YOCO) in January secured a court order to freeze all landed properties and vehicles belonging to Nam1, including Men's Gold Ghana Limited, Men's Gold Office Complex, Xylophone Act Complex, Xylophone Music and Media Company Limited, Brew Energy Company Limited, and G-Tech Automobile Service.
That's our wrap up with News at 10. Thanks very much for your time. On behalf of the crew, good night. There is more news at 3news.com.